Look, one of the most amazing corporate transformations in the past year is that of Facebook by renaming itself Meta and announcing a $10 billion investment in something called the Metaverse. $10 billion. Get that? Well, you probably just raise your eyebrows. So what is the Metaverse? And how does Meta make money from it? And how do you? Ed Boyd goes deep into the Metaverse to explain it for you.
3 months ago, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg turned himself into a cartoon character to announce his new business dream, the Metaverse.
We're going to talk about the Metaverse. I want to share what we imagine is possible. And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine. All right, perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. What's up, Mark?
This place is amazing.
The feeling of presence. This is the defining quality of the Metaverse. You're going to really feel like you're there with other people. You'll see their facial expressions, you'll see their body language, maybe figure out if they're actually holding a winning hand. All the subtle ways that we communicate that today's technology can't quite deliver.
Facebook changed its name to Meta and tipped more than $10 billion into building the Metaverse last year. That figure is likely to increase in years to come.
Well, we feel like this is the next generation of social technology. We've seen over the last 20 years or so that communication has moved from text to images to video, and we've been through a couple of big transitions ourselves, from desktop to mobile, and from feed environments to stories type environments, and we feel like this is the next one. And also, this sense of presence that you know because you've tried it, this kind of sense of really being there, that's the holy grail of social technology. And so we feel that this is really core to our mission, and that's why we want to invest behind it and bring this into reality.
The big questions are, why would anybody want to do this? And how can business, not just Mark Zuckerberg, make money out of the Metaverse? Australia's largest ASX-listed video game developer, Playside, is already onto it.
Yeah, so the Metaverse is definitely the hot term of 2022. Look, I don't think anyone can tell you exactly what that's going to look like, how it's going to play out. Playside is involved in figuring that out. We are one of the companies that work with Meta themselves, Facebook obviously, and so we're working with a lot of companies in that space and learning from them and what they're doing. I think anyone sort of saying that they're going to build the next Metaverse right now is probably not, they don't really know how to do it.
Playside just signed a deal with Activision Blizzard, owner of best-selling game franchises including Call of Duty, World of Warcraft and Diablo.
We are working with Activision Blizzard. We can't say too much about the actual announcement at the moment. As you would know, they're a really big company. There's a lot of secrets. We are working on one of their franchises, and for us, it's definitely a testament to show how far the studio has come in the last 10 years, working with brands like Blizzard and 2K, really stepping it up to the much larger games companies now.
Professor Bruce Thomas from the University of South Australia is one of the world's top scholars in the field of augmented reality. He says the concept for the Metaverse has existed for more than 20 years, but now, with virtual reality headsets getting cheaper, it's becoming more accessible.
Augmented reality and virtual reality is the idea of giving you artificial senses to the real world. So in virtual reality, what you'd like to do is replace all your senses with virtual artificial ones. So you replace what you see on your face, your vision or your hearing, and in the future they'll replace your smell and touch. And what augmented reality does is you can still see the physical world, but you add artificial elements to it. So you could be talking to me and I would actually see you standing in my laboratory here.
Meta is starting to collaborate with partners all over the world to build out the Metaverse. Its ambitions are sky high.
For us, we're interested in making this available to as many people as possible, and we would love to see 1 billion people in the Metaverse over the next 10 years, and that means building out the technologies, making those more accessible to people, making sure that people have easy access to the right networking solutions and bandwidth across the world.
Professor Thomas has been finding practical applications for virtual reality, such as designing submarines using virtual and augmented reality. He tells the story of how 2 years before the Collins-class submarines were to be launched in 1993, the designers built a $10 million scale model of the command centre, which was totally inadequate for the submariners.
They start pointing out all these problems, and some problems they could fix, but some problems they couldn't be fixed. You couldn't move the periscope, because back then it was actually a hole in the hull so you couldn't drill another hole in the hull. So the idea here is, instead of doing it 2 years before the ship goes into the water, you do it 2 years after you start developing these submarines, which it takes 20 to 25 years to develop a submarine. So you can iterate through problems early on.
ASX-listed X-Reality is a multi-purpose entertainment business led by former SAS soldier Wayne Jones.
My background was military for 21 years. We set the company up to build indoor skydiving simulators. So we started off with physical simulators, and we were flying first-timers and tourists, skydiving enthusiasts and military guys. We've been training them already for going on 7 years now. The natural progression for us was to move into other types of simulation, which includes virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality, which brings us up through this journey, which is a consumer market-driven business called Freak, and into the enterprise side of businesses, which is, where we're moving into training, serious side of training using this technology.
Freak gaming centres allow up to 4 players to play games in virtual reality. There's a lot of gear and infrared sensors covering a 6x6 metre playing surface.
So this is a haptic vest. It's the first thing you put on when you're gearing up, and it's got 40 different motors around the vest, so on the torso, the back, and those motors vibrate if you're getting attacked in the game. So as well as seeing what's happening in the game and hearing what's happening, you're also feeling it.
This is me in virtual reality playing the zombie shoot-'em-up game Arizona Sunshine. I'm second from the right. And this is what it looks like in real life. X-Reality have adapted this technology for military and law enforcement uses. Its operator business allows soldiers and police to practice clearing rooms using 3D mock-ups of their actual weapons.
So as a trainer, you can actually look through the eyes of someone going through and assaulting a room and understanding, okay, why did you make that decision? What threat did you see there? Why did you do that action you did? You can really highlight and hone in on certain areas that could be potentially dangerous or that could make your assault a lot better.
But now, it's time to show you a small part of the metaverse. I'm going to enter the Horizon Workrooms, a 3D place for business meetings. Sitting here in the metaverse, you might wonder, why bother? Why do I, or you, need to exist in virtual reality? Well, by 2026, there could be more than 750 billion reasons why. That's right, the global metaverse market is forecast to grow 37% a year and be worth $758 billion within 4 years' time. And it will keep growing from there, which makes Meta's investment of $10 billion, large on the surface, seem like a steal. Now, how do I get out of here? The reality of this reality is the money. All these companies, Meta being the biggest of them, expect to generate.
Business customers that I've spoken to are very interested and curious about how they can get involved right now. And so we're working with a lot of people on what we call the building blocks and how they get there. As I said, we need to involve lots of people in this. So brands might be building out their own worlds or their own experiences. They might be building virtual goods as well as selling physical goods via commerce. So all of the kinds of opportunities that you see on the internet, and probably more, we're going to need to explore those over the next 5 to 10 years or so as we bring this to life.